The farmers of New Terra loved their simple life. Far from Earth, they grew their crops under twin suns and lived in peace. Their small colony sat in a green valley, with tall mountains on one side and a wide blue ocean on the other. Sarah Chen, the colony leader, walked through the wheat fields on a bright morning. She smiled as children played between the rows of golden crops. New Terra had been her home for 15 years. The people here had chosen to live away from Earth's busy cities and strict rules. "Another good harvest," said old Tom, looking up from his work. "Earth doesn't even know what they're missing." Sarah nodded. It was true. The colony sent reports back to Earth once a year, but otherwise kept to themselves. That was their choice, freedom in exchange for being mostly alone among the stars. None of them saw the strange ships watching from orbit. The Xelarians had been studying New Terra for 3 months. Their crystal bodies glowed with blue light as they analyzed the human settlement. "These creatures are primitive," said Commander Zix, his body flashing patterns of light that the other Xelarians understood as speech. "They have no defenses, no weapons. Earth has abandoned this place." "Are you certain?" asked his second-in-command. "Our records show humans can be unpredictable. Look at them." Zix's crystal form pulsed with dismissive lights. "They dig in dirt and live in simple shelters. Their technology is basic, and they have no contact with their homeworld." The Xelarians needed the rare minerals that existed beneath New Terra's surface. They also needed test subjects to study. Humans were an unknown species in the galaxy, and the Xelarian Empire collected knowledge like others collected treasure. "Begin the harvest," ordered Zix. The attack came at noon. The sky darkened as 5 crystal ships descended through the clouds. They shot beams of energy that cut through buildings like paper. People ran screaming as strange crystal soldiers marched through the fields, their bodies reflecting the fires they had started. Sarah Chen ran to the colony's small communication center. With shaking hands, she activated the emergency beacon, a system they had never used before. "This is New Terra Colony calling Earth. We are under attack by unknown aliens. They're taking people, destroying everything. Please send help." A crystal soldier burst through the door. Sarah grabbed a metal pipe and swung it at the creature. The pipe bounced off its hard body, not even leaving a mark. The crystal soldier reached for her with glowing hands. In orbit, Commander Zix watched with satisfaction as his ships began drilling operations. "Destroy their communication device," he ordered. "No one will hear their cries." The Xelarians fired at the colony's small transmitter dish. It exploded in a shower of sparks. Zix's crystal body flashed with patterns of pleasure. No message could have gotten through, his second-in-command confirmed. "Earth will never know what happened here." But they were wrong. One small fragment of Sarah's message had already escaped into the depths of space, carrying with it the truth of what happened at New Terra. It traveled through the darkness between stars, a tiny cry for help racing toward Earth. The Xelarians continued their work, certain that humanity would stay silent. They had no idea what was coming. 3 months after the attack on New Terra, a small message pod reached Earth's outer warning system. Inside was Sarah Chen's broken message and 10 seconds of video showing crystal aliens attacking humans. In the big meeting room of Earth Defense Headquarters, Admiral Marcus Vega stood with his fists tight at his sides. On the large screen, the final frame showed a crystal soldier reaching for Sarah Chen. "Play it again," Vega said, his voice low and hard. General Rodriguez shook his head. "We've seen it 20 times, Marcus." "My sister is on New Terra," Vega said. He had not seen Maya in 15 years, not since she left to be a doctor for the colony. Now he stared at the frozen image of terror on the screen. "The council will be here in 5 minutes, Rodriguez said. "They'll want options." Earth had kept peace with other aliens for many years. The people of Earth knew about some alien races, but not all. They did not know that Earth had been building secret weapons just in case. They did not know about the ship hidden under the ice of Jupiter's moon. When the 12 members of the Earth Defense Council entered the room, Admiral Vega stood straight and tall. "We have confirmed the attack was real," said Council Leader Wang. "The question is, what do we do now?" "We must be careful," said another council member. "We don't know how strong these crystal aliens are." "They attacked our people," shouted Vega. "They took them." Council Leader Wang raised her hand for quiet. "Admiral Vega, you have personal reasons to be angry, but we need clear heads now." "With respect," Vega said, trying to control his voice, "we need to show strength. If we do nothing, other aliens will think they can attack humans anywhere." The room grew quiet. Everyone knew he was right. "What do you suggest?" asked Wang. Admiral Vega took a deep breath. "Project Nemesis." The room exploded with voices. Project Nemesis was the biggest secret Earth had. A warship built with both human technology and pieces of alien tech found on Mars. It was 3 times bigger than any ship humans had ever built before. "Nemesis has never even been tested," someone shouted. "It's our best weapon," Vega argued, "and I can pilot it." This was also true. The ship needed a special mental link with its captain. Tests showed Vega's brain could connect with the ship better than anyone else. Council Leader Wang looked around the room. "All in favor of activating Project Nemesis, raise your hand." One by one, hands went up. The vote was 12-0. "Admiral Vega," Wang said, "you leave for Europa base immediately. Select your crew. Prepare the ship." As Vega left the room, he looked once more at the frozen image of the attack. "We're coming," he whispered to his lost sister and the people of Nuterra. On the far side of the galaxy, the crystal aliens continued their work, believing they had silenced humanity. They were about to learn how wrong they were. Admiral Vega's shuttle landed on the icy surface of Europa, Jupiter's moon. Nobody looking at the white, frozen landscape would guess that underneath was Earth's biggest secret. Vega and his chosen crew rode an elevator down through 2 miles of ice. When the doors opened, they gasped. In a huge underground sea stood the Nemesis. "My God," whispered Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the science officer. "It's beautiful." The ship was 3 kilometers long, with smooth black metal that seemed to drink in the light. Red lines ran along its sides like blood vessels. It had been built in secret for 20 years, using both human technology and strange alien machines found in a crashed ship on Mars. "Will it even work?" asked Chief Engineer Sanjay Patel. He had studied the ship's plans, but had never seen it in person. "That's why we're here," said Vega, "to find out." Base Commander Wilson met them at the dock. "The ship is ready, but untested. The neural interface is the biggest risk." The neural interface was the heart of Nemesis. Unlike normal ships that needed many people to control them, Nemesis would connect directly to Admiral Vega's mind. This would make the ship faster and more deadly than anything else in space. "Show me," Vega said. Inside the ship, they walked through hallways that lit up as they passed. The control room had one special chair in the center, surrounded by stations for the small crew. "This is where you'll sit," Wilson told Vega. "The neural link will connect to the implant in your neck." Vega touched the small metal disc at the base of his skull. He had received it a week ago, and it still felt strange. "What happens when it connects?" he asked. "We don't exactly know," admitted Wilson. "Nobody has ever fully linked with the ship before." Vega looked at his crew, 20 of Earth's best people. They were risking everything on a ship that might not even work. "Let's find out together," he said. They took their positions. Dr. Rodriguez and Engineer Patel watched their screens nervously as Vega sat in the command chair. A metal arm extended from behind and connected to his neck implant. At first, nothing happened. Then Vega gasped. His eyes opened wide. "Admiral," Rodriguez called, worried. "I can feel the ship," Vega whispered. "I can feel all of it. The engines, the weapons, everything." In his mind, Vega could see every part of Nemesis. More than that, he could feel a presence, like another mind. "Hello, Admiral Vega," said a woman's voice in his head. "I am Athena, the ship's artificial intelligence. We are now connected." The lights in the ship glowed brighter. Engines that had never been used before hummed to life. "All systems active," reported Patel in amazement. "The ship is responding." Outside, the waters of Europa's hidden sea began to churn. Massive doors opened in the icy ceiling above. "Prepare for launch," Vega commanded, his voice mixing with Athena's in a strange harmony. With a roar that shook the moon, Nemesis rose from its secret home, breaking through miles of ice into space. The black ship gleamed in the sunlight, more powerful than anything humans had built before. Humanity's answer to the alien attack was awake, and it was hungry for justice. 5 days after leaving Europa, the Nemesis reached the edge of Silurian space. The black ship moved silently, hidden by its special cloaking technology that bent light around it. Admiral Vega stood on the bridge, but he also felt like he was the ship itself. Through his connection with Athena, he could sense everything around them. "There," he said, pointing to a large space station ahead. "That's Outpost 7, according to our star maps." The outpost was busy. Ships of many shapes and sizes came and went, carrying goods and people between the stars. "Activate the listening systems," Vega ordered. Dr. Rodriguez worked at her station, capturing alien radio signals and communications. "Athena is translating now," she said. In Vega's mind, the words and images from the alien ships began to make sense. The Xilarians were indeed the crystal beings who had attacked New Terra. They ruled this part of space with fear, taking what they wanted from weaker species. "I'm picking up a Xilarian military channel," Rodriguez said suddenly. They're talking about the humans from New Terra." Vega's heart beat faster. "Show me." On the main screen, crystal aliens moved through a laboratory. Behind them, in glass cases, were people from New Terra. Some looked asleep. Others were clearly dead, cut open for study. "They're experimenting on them," whispered Security Chief Winters. "Like animals." Vega's hands gripped the command chair so hard his knuckles turned white. "Can you tell where this is happening?" "The signal came from their home system, about 3 days from here," Rodriguez answered. Vega stood up, his decision made. "We need to show them who they're dealing with." "Disengage the cloaking system." Engineer Patel looked up in shock. "Sir, we'll be visible to everyone." "That's the point," Vega said. The Nemesis appeared in the middle of the busy space lanes, its black hull gleaming. Ships scattered in panic at the sudden appearance of the massive unknown vessel. "Broadcast on all frequencies," Vega ordered. "Show them the footage from New Terra, then our message." On every screen and communication device around the outpost, aliens saw the attack on the human colony. Then Admiral Vega's face appeared. "I am Admiral Marcus Vega of Earth. The Xilarian Empire has attacked our colony and taken our people. Return them immediately or face the consequences. This is your only warning." The message was sent in all known alien languages, including the light patterns used by the Xilarians. Almost immediately, 3 Xilarian warships approached the Nemesis. They were smaller but still dangerous, their crystal hulls glowing with energy. "They're charging weapons," reported Chief Winters. "Let them fire first," Vega said calmly. The Xilarian ships fired bright beams of energy that hit the Nemesis directly. Everyone on the bridge held their breath, except Vega, who smiled. The ship's shields absorbed the energy attack completely. "Now," Vega said, "show them what we can do." The Nemesis fired precise shots that disabled the Xilarian ship's engines and weapons, but didn't destroy them. The crystal ships drifted helplessly. Across the outpost, aliens watched in amazement. The humans, whom most had thought were weak or unimportant, had just defeated 3 Xilarian warships without effort. "Set course for the Xilarian home system," Vega ordered. It's time they learned that humanity will not stay silent. The Nemesis pushed deeper into Xilarian space, its black hull cutting through the darkness between stars. Admiral Vega hadn't slept in 2 days. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the humans in those glass cases. "Admiral," called Dr. Rodriguez from her station. "We're picking up a distress signal. It's not Silurian." "Show me," Vega said. On the main screen, a small transport ship tumbled through space, trailing smoke and debris. It was under attack by its Silurian patrol ship. "Move to intercept," ordered Vega. "Disable the Silurian vessel." The Nemesis fired a single shot that cut through the Silurian ship's weapons system. The crystal ship turned and fled. "The transport is badly damaged," reported Engineer Puddle. "Life support is failing." "Bring them aboard," Vega decided. An hour later, Vega stood in the docking bay as the rescued aliens were helped off their damaged ship. There were 12 of them, from 5 different species. Most looked injured or weak. One creature stepped forward on 4 insect-like legs. It had blue skin and large compound eyes. "I am Trax," it said in a clicking voice that Athena translated. "You have our thanks, human ship." Vega nodded. "What happened to you?" "We were escaping Silurian space," Trax explained. "Not all of us were willing test subjects." In the medical bay, Dr. Maya Chen treated the aliens' wounds. Trax sat with Vega, drinking a cup of water with his strange mouth. "The Silurians are not acting alone," Trax said suddenly. "They are servants of the Conclave." The Conclave. Vega had never heard this name. A group of old, powerful species who control much of the galaxy from the shadows, Trax explained. "They use the Silurians to do their dirty work." Trax reached into a pocket and pulled out a small crystal device. When he activated it, a hologram appeared showing strange alien writing. "I stole this from my captors," he said. "It contains information about the attack on your colony." Dr. Rodriguez studied the strange symbols. "Athena can translate some of this," she said. It's a directive. The attack on New Terra wasn't random. The Conclave ordered it specifically." "Why?" asked Vega. "Why target a small farming colony?" Trax's compound eyes reflected the light. "The Conclave fears humans." "Fears us," Security Chief Winters laughed. "Until a week ago, most alien species didn't even know we existed." "That is not true," Trax said. "The Conclave has watched Earth for centuries. There is an ancient prophecy that says humans will unite the younger races against Conclave rule." Rodriguez looked up from the crystal. "There's more. The Silurians took genetic samples from New Terra's people. They're being transported to a secret research facility." Vega felt cold. "They're not just studying us. They're trying to use our DNA for something. Worse than that," Trax said quietly. "I believe they are creating weapons to use against Earth itself." The bridge fell silent as everyone understood. They weren't just on a rescue mission anymore. They had stumbled into the opening moves of an interstellar war. "Set course for the Silurian home system," Vega ordered, his voice hard. "We need to find our people before it's too late." As the Nemesis turned toward new stars, the truth became clear. The silence of humanity was about to become a battle cry. "We need to stop for supplies," Engineer Patel told Admiral Vega. "And our new friends need proper medical care." Vega nodded. The rescued aliens were eating too much of their food supplies. And the Nemesis, for all its power, needed fuel. "Trax," Vega called to their insect-like ally. "Is there a safe place nearby? Somewhere the Silurians don't control?" Trax's compound eyes gleamed. "Rylos Station. It sits between 3 different territories. No one species controls it. Even the Silurians must follow rules there." 2 days later, the Nemesis approached a massive space station that looked like a metal flower floating in space. Ships of all shapes and sizes moved around it. "Hide our weapons," Vega ordered, "and only a small team goes ashore." On Rylos Station, Vega had never seen so many different aliens in one place. Some had too many arms. Others had no arms at all. Some floated like gas clouds. Others stomped on heavy stone legs. "This way," Key tracks led them through crowded markets and past shops, selling things Vega couldn't even name. They entered a dark bar filled with smoke and strange music. In the back room, 5 alien leaders waited for them. These are representatives of species who hate the Xelarians as much as you do, Key tracks explained. One alien looked like a snake with feathers. Another was made of living stone. The third seemed to be a cloud of purple gas. The fourth had skin like metal. The fifth was tiny but had eyes that glowed with intelligence. "Why should we trust humans?" asked the snake alien. "You have been hiding in your corner of space for centuries." "We weren't hiding," Vega answered. "We were growing stronger." He showed them the footage from New Terra, and then the recording of how easily Nemesis had defeated the Xelarian warships. The stone alien rumbled with laughter. "Perhaps the ancient prophecy is true after all." "What prophecy?" asked Dr. Rodriguez. "That humans would one day unite the younger races against the Conclave," said the tiny alien with glowing eyes. "The Conclave has ruled from the shadows for 10,000 years. Many have tried to fight them. All have failed." "We haven't tried yet," Vega said simply. Meanwhile, Security Chief Winters and her team explored the station's lower levels. They found signs that someone was watching them. "Admiral," Winters called on her radio. "We've captured a spy. He's not Xelarian. He says he works for something called the Conclave." The spy was brought to their meeting room. He looked almost human, except for his silver eyes. "The Conclave already knows you're here," the spy said with a smile. "They've been watching Earth for centuries. They fear you not for your weapons, but for what you are." "And what's that?" asked Vega. "Adaptable, emotional, unpredictable." The spy looked at Vega with fear and respect. "The link between you and your ship proves it. No other species can merge with machines like humans can." As they left the station with new allies and supplies, a shadow moved in the darkness. A Conclave assassin aimed a weapon at Admiral Vega. But Athena, through her link with Vega, sensed the danger. The ship sent a warning directly to Vega's mind. He turned just in time. The assassin missed, and Vega's team captured him alive. Another piece of the puzzle. The Nemesis departed Rylos Station with a small fleet of Allied ships following. The war against the Conclave had truly begun. The Nemesis and its small fleet of Allied ships dropped out of faster-than-light travel near New Terra. What they saw made Admiral Vega's heart sink. The once green planet now had ugly gray scars across its surface. Huge machines dug into the ground, taking metals and minerals. Black smoke rose from processing centers. The beautiful ocean had turned dark with pollution. "Life signs?" Vega asked, his voice tight with anger. "I'm detecting human life signs in that large building." Dr. Rodriguez pointed to a structure near the main colony. "But they're weak." "Xelarian defenses?" asked Security Chief Winters. 5 warships in orbit," Engineer Puddle reported, "and ground defenses around the main facilities." Vega closed his eyes, connecting deeper with Athena. Together, they formed a battle plan. "Our allies will engage the Xelarian fleet," Vega announced. "Nemesis will break through to the planet. We'll deploy teams to rescue our people." The Allied ships moved into position. The snake-like Naga ships were fast and nimble. The stone lithoid ships were slow but had powerful weapons. The gaseous Vril ships could slip past enemy defenses unseen. "All ships, attack," Vega ordered. Space lit up with energy beams and explosions. The Allied fleet hit the Xelarian ships from multiple directions. The Nemesis pushed straight through the middle of the battle, taking hits but not slowing down. "Boarding teams ready," reported Winters. She had armed the rescue teams with weapons Engineer Paddle designed specifically to work against the Crystal Xelarians. As the Nemesis entered New Terra's atmosphere, Xelarian ground defenses fired up at them. The ship's shields held, but they flickered. "We can't take too many more hits," warned Patel. "We won't need to," Vega replied. The Nemesis fired precise shots, destroying the defense turrets one by one. The black ship landed near the main facility. Boarding ramps opened, and human Marines charged out, led by Security Chief Winters. Trax went with them, knowing the layout of Silurian buildings. Inside, they found horror. Hundreds of colonists were kept in stasis pods, being studied or used for experiments. The Marines fought through Silurian guards, their special weapons shattering the crystal soldiers. Admiral Vega led a team to the central control room. They fought their way through corridors, stepping over broken crystal bodies. In the main lab, Vega finally found what he had been searching for. His sister Maya lay in a stasis pod, pale but alive. "Get these people out," he ordered. "Back to the ship." Lieutenant Commander Jackson ran in, bleeding from a crystal shard in his arm. "Admiral, the Xilarians have activated some kind of superweapon. It's targeting our fleet." Vega looked at the alien controls. "Can we shut it down?" "No time," Jackson said. "But I can overload it. It'll destroy this facility, but our ships will be safe." "That's suicide," Vega protested. Jackson smiled sadly. "For New Terra. For Earth." He pushed Vega toward the exit. "Go. Get these people home." The rescue teams loaded the surviving colonists onto the Nemesis. The Allied fleet was taking heavy damage from the Xilarian ships. "All teams aboard," reported Winters. "Except Jackson." Vega looked back at the facility. "He's staying to save us all." His voice broke. "Nemesis, take us up." The black ship rose into the sky, just as the Xilarian facility exploded in a ball of blue fire. The blast knocked out 2 Xilarian warships, allowing the Allied fleet to gain the upper hand. With the colonists secure, the Nemesis and its allies left New Terra behind, battered but victorious. They had won the battle, but the war against the Conclave was just beginning. 2 days after leaving New Terra, Admiral Vega sat beside his sister's bed in the medical bay. Maya was awake now, thin and pale, but alive. "They did terrible things to us, Marcus," she whispered. "They weren't just studying us. They were changing us." Before Vega could ask what she meant, Dr. Rodriguez entered the room. "Admiral, we've received a message from Earth. It's encrypted, but Athena broke the code." In the communication room, Vega watched as General Williams' face appeared on the screen. The old man looked worried. "Vega, this message may not reach you, but you must know. Earth has been compromised. The Defense Council has been infiltrated by Conclave agents. They're saying you attacked the Xilarians without permission." Vega felt cold. "What are they planning?" "Earth is preparing to surrender to Xilarian demands," continued Williams. "They're blaming you for starting an unnecessary war. Don't come home. It's a trap." The message ended. The bridge was silent. "We can't go back to Earth," Security Chief Winters said finally. "We'd be arrested as soon as we arrived." Trax clicked his mandibles nervously. "The Conclave's reach is even longer than I feared." Maya walked into the bridge, leaning on a nurse's arm. "I need to tell you what I learned while they had me," she said. Everyone gathered around as Maya spoke. "The Xilarians aren't a natural species. They were created by the Conclave as soldiers and enforcers. And now they want to do the same with humans." "What do you mean?" asked Vega. "The experiments on us were trying to create human Xilarian hybrids," Maya explained. "Soldiers with human creativity and Xilarian strength. They plan to attack Earth with an army made from our own people." Engineer Patel shook his head in disgust. "That's why they targeted New Terra. They needed human subjects far from Earth where no one would notice." "There's more," Maya said quietly. "Some people on Earth knew about the Conclave. They'd been keeping Earth isolated, appeasing the Conclave to avoid conflict." A sudden alarm blared through the ship. "Unauthorized transmission detected," Athena's voice announced. Security Chief Winters and her team ran to the source. In a small communications room, they found Communications Officer Chen sending a message. "Stop him," Winters shouted. Her team grabbed Chen. But it was too late. The message had been sent. Why? Vega asked when Chen was brought to the bridge. Why betray us? Chen's eyes were full of tears. They have my family on Earth. The Conclave promised they would be safe if I helped them. Long-range sensors showed 5 large Conclave ships heading toward them. They're tracking us, Paddle said. Chen's message gave away our position. Vega faced the most difficult decision of his life. They couldn't return to Earth. They couldn't defeat a Conclave battle group. They needed something more. Cracks. Vega turned to the alien. You mentioned a place called Nexus, a place with ancient technology that might help us against the Conclave. Cracks nodded. It's far from here. In uncharted space. No one knows if it really exists. Vega looked at the faces of his crew, at his sister, at their rescued colonists and alien allies. They had all sacrificed so much already. Set course for Nexus, he ordered. Our only hope is to find a weapon or alliance powerful enough to take on the Conclave. As the Nemesis turned toward unknown stars, Vega knew the fate of Earth now rested on finding the legend. The Nemesis traveled for 2 weeks through stars no human had ever seen. They fought off 3 Conclave patrol ships and hid from a massive Tellurian fleet. Their allies stayed with them, believing in Vega and the ancient prophecy. We're approaching the coordinates, Engineer Patel announced one day. If Nexus exists, it should be just ahead. The bridge crew held their breath as the ship dropped out of faster-than-light travel. At first, they saw nothing but empty space and distant stars. There's nothing here, said Security Chief Winters with disappointment. But Keep Tracks clicked excitedly. Look closer. The stars behind it bend. Vega connected deeply with Athena. Together, they adjusted the ship's sensors to detect energy patterns. Suddenly, it appeared on their screens, a massive space station hidden by advanced technology that bent light around it. It's enormous, whispered Dr. Rodriguez, at least 10 times larger than Rilo's station. As the Nemesis approached, a beam of golden light shot out from the station and scanned their ship. We're being hailed, reported the new communications officer. A voice spoke in all their minds at once. Visitors to Nexus, state your purpose. Vega stood tall. I am Admiral Marcus Vega of Earth. We seek knowledge and help against the Conclave. The golden beam pulled the Nemesis gently toward a docking bay big enough to hold 50 ships their size. Once inside, the crew stared in wonder at the massive structure. The walls seemed to be made of flowing metal that changed colors. The air smelled fresh and clean. A figure of light appeared before them. It looked almost human, but its body glowed from within. I am the custodian, it said. I have watched over Nexus for 50,000 years, since the progenitors departed. The progenitors? Asked Vega. The first advanced species in this galaxy, explained the custodian. They built Nexus as a place of learning and peace. The custodian led them to a great hall where star maps filled the air around them. The Conclave were once servants of the progenitors, tasked with guiding younger species, but they chose power instead, ruling through fear and manipulation. Why do they fear humans so much? Asked Maya. The custodian's light flickered. Because of what you are. Humans adapt faster than any species the galaxy has seen. You form bonds with each other, and even with artificial intelligence. It gestured to Vega's connection with Athena. No other species can join with machines so completely. The custodian touched the wall, and it changed to show images of Mars. The progenitors visited your world long ago. They left technology buried there, which your people found and used to build your ship. Vega was shocked. The alien tech we found on Mars. It was progenitor technology. Yes, said the custodian. Your Nemesis is not merely a weapon. It is a key that can activate dormant progenitor defense systems throughout the galaxy. As this amazing news sank in, alarms blared throughout the station. Conclave ships approaching, announced the custodian. A large fleet. They have tracked you here. On the screens, they saw dozens of massive ships appearing from faster-than-light travel. "They found us," said Winters. "But how?" Engineer Patel scanned their ship and found a small device hidden deep inside. A tracking beacon. "It's been there since we left Rilo Station." The Conclave had followed them to Nexus. Now they faced an enemy fleet too large to fight, and they had led them straight to the galaxy's greatest secret. "We can't run," Admiral Vega said as they watched the Conclave fleet approach Nexus. "And we can't hide." "We can fight," said Security Chief Winters, but even she knew they were outnumbered. The custodian stepped forward, its light body glowing brighter. "There is another way." The Nemesis was built with progenitor technology. It can activate Nexus's defense systems. "How?" asked Vega. "Through the neural link you share with your ship," the custodian explained. "But it will require more than just you. It will need many human minds working together." Maya stepped forward. "The colonists from New Terra. We could help." In the medical bay, Dr. Rodriguez explained the plan to the rescued colonists. "It's dangerous," she warned. "The neural link was designed for one person." "The Solarians took everything from us," said Sarah Chen, the colony leader. "Let us fight back." 30 colonists volunteered. Engineer Patel worked quickly to create makeshift neural connections for each of them. In the command room, they sat in a circle around Vega's chair. "The Conclave ships are entering weapon range," reported K-Trax from the bridge. "Begin the link," ordered Vega. The custodian activated ancient systems in the walls. Energy flowed through the neural connections. Vega felt other minds joining with his and Athena's. First a few, then dozens. Together, they reached into the heart of Nexus. Outside, the Conclave ships opened fire. Energy beams struck Nexus, but ancient shields glowed to life, stopping the attack. In space, long dormant satellites around Nexus lit up. Hundreds of them, built by the progenitors millennia ago. They fired golden beams that cut through the Conclave ship's defenses like paper. Through their shared mind space, Vega sent a message to every ship and station in range. The truth about the Conclave, their lies, their manipulation, their fear of human potential, spread across the stars. "Target their flagship," Vega told the joined minds. "Don't destroy it. Capture it." The Nemesis, now glowing with golden energy, moved forward. It fired precise shots that disabled the Conclave flagship's engines and weapons. Boarding teams led by Winters and K-Trax transported to the flagship. They fought their way to the command center and found the Conclave leaders, small gray creatures with large heads who had ruled through fear for thousands of years. When the Conclave leaders were brought to Nexus, many alien species saw them for the first time. The myth of their power was broken. "For too long, you have kept the younger races divided and afraid," Vega told them. "That ends today." Ships from dozens of species arrived at Nexus over the next few days. They had heard the truth, and they came to see for themselves. In the Great Hall, Vega addressed representatives from hundreds of species. The progenitors believed in cooperation, not control. "Humans don't want to rule the galaxy. We want to help build something better." A new alliance was formed that day, not based on fear, but on mutual respect. Earth joined as an equal partner once the Conclave agents were removed from power. The Nemesis remained at Nexus as a guardian. Its name in the progenitor language was finally correctly translated. Not vengeance, but justice. And throughout the galaxy, the story spread of how humanity refused to stay silent, and how their worship changed the stars forever.